Okay guys, we're back again. And we're going to start off with cleaning our work area, because this is less than ideal. And then we'll show you what we've been working on. What we're going to finish up and what we're going to do next. Micro set, we don't need that right now. Don't need any decals right now. That's probably good enough here. Alright, so we need to do the basing on these vehicles that we've finished. We've now sealed the vehicles. That's where we just came from. We sealed the vehicles that we're working on this weekend. Those vehicles are the JSU 122 by PST. She's sealed now with dull coat. I'm using Vallejo airbrush flat matte, something like that. So that's complete. We have the Roco half track in 1/87th scale, Figure-atively. That thing's ready to go. And we have the Panzer IV G that is a die cast. And it's ready to go. The only thing is I forgot about this. I need to find the screws that go in this, which shouldn't be difficult to find because they are triangular ones to put it together. I'd rather just put it back together than try to epoxy it and make a mess. There's no need to do it. This is holding on quite a bit of weight, so that's what we're going to do. And the other thing that we did while we were out there is sealing. We went ahead and base coated, because these guys were black, base coated the Jagdpanzer IV and the Stug 3G. This is an Eshi model. This is a Fujimi, I believe. So we've got side skirts for the Stug. So before we do any of this stuff, we're going to go ahead and give these guys the Agrax Earthshade wash. That's going to take a little bit of time. Hey, Barnes, it's going to take a little time for that to dry, and this is what we're going to work next. So just so you know, these vehicles, which I think turned out a lot better than I was expecting, using these colors, because these colors are weird. You know, they work, but man, there's a lot of second guessing. Both of these vehicles started looking like this. And this is horrible looking. I mean, well, this looks like you know what? This looks like the uniform of like a Japanese army khaki or something like that. It definitely has some green to it. And, but I have confidence it'll turn out, both of these will end up looking how I want them to. So we're going to give them the Agrax Earthshade wash, these two, and then we'll go back to find the screws on that Panzer IV. So these are the two that we're going to do next. I already have the next batch of 3 that I haven't painted black, because these were already black. So the next batch of 3 is a pair of Panthers and another Panzer 3L. So another die-cast Panzer 3L. So yeah, what I solved yesterday with the Roger B, welcome back. What I solved yesterday with the airbrush, I can't wait to do camouflage on these two. Because I think I've turned a corner. I'm not going to use the airbrush for weathering. I'm not going to use the airbrush for. I just want to put like the basic camouflage scheme, and then we can, we can go over it with the. I really like that. I've kind of come up with my own paint style, you know. So anyhow, right. So let's get something here too, in case some of this stuff slops around. Oh, just stay on the effing ground then. I hate this couch over here. It's like slippery. And unfortunately, it turns into like a catch-all that things slide off of it. Here, get out of my way. Here, there you go. All right, so let's get Agrax Earthshade that we are extremely low on. I airbrushed the base color on them, and that's all I'm using it for priming. I'm using it for the base color. And so we're going to do Agrax Earthshade. We're going to, when we're done with that, we will do the colors. This one's just going to have green on it. I have a picture somewhere of a model that somebody did one of these with the 116th Panzer Division, the one with a little greyhound on the front, and Dunkelgelb in green. And I like that one. This one's going to be 3-color. So, and we're going to use a different green because the green that was recommended that came in the set for AK is very, very light. And now it looks okay because I've seen pictures of them in this light, but we're going to mix the greens and browns. So, because they all changed in color depending on what they were mixed with. But I can tell you that I really like the AK paints because I don't have to thin them with the airbrush, So that's just another step that, And I can dry brush with them. I got to get creative, But we dry brushed with these. These are the AK paints dry brushed, and this is super bright. You guys are getting a lot of kickback. Let me see if I can tinker with that and change that. Let's see here. Because it is way too bright in here. This is not what I'm really looking at. It's more like this. It's something like that. Anyhow, I'm really happy with how this turned out. For a noob, for my first one. That's really my first attempt. And this thing looks amazing. It really does. I mean, especially look at the side view here. Look at the running gear. I'm talking about the guy who created the casting or the model. It has some really crisp detail on it, honestly. So, okay. So this is going to take some time to dry, so let's go ahead and knock this out. And I probably need to price out how much Agrax Earthshade is on the internet because I'm really low on it. Finally caught a live session. That's not true. You're on here all the time. Oh, in the evenings. Oh, okay. My AWI figures never look good under the light in pictures. Yeah. I'm terrible at it. Okay, I'm terrible at taking pictures. Because I'll take them 6 times and I'm like, why doesn't it look good? Why doesn't it look good? F it. Let's move on to something else. And I never get a chance to take pictures outside because, by the time I'm done with something, it's, the sky has moved on to something else. Oh, we have a bunch of brushes over there. Let's just grab a new. So we got a whole slew of these. I've given up on trying to find any brushes that are made in China. They just don't exist. They don't exist here. In this part of the world. All right. Let's start with the easy thing first. And we're going to epoxy these on. Actually, I had this thing glued on and it broke off on me. And I'm like, well, if it's going to break off on me, I won't re-glue it until it's done. Because there's a lot of stress that's going to be put on it on those 2 points there, but did you catch that video where I pulled out all the stuff that I have in a bin? What the hell is this stuff? Do you see all the stuff, all the buildings and stuff that I have that weigh a metric ton? I think that was yesterday. Let's just get in here and make it ugly. I wish I could, speaking of AWI, I wish I could figure out, if I could remember whose side it was. There's somebody, I came across some Prussian figures from the 7 Years' War. And I don't remember if they were 6. I think they were 15s actually. And the guy had like a range, like almost like in marching formation. It just looked like, it looked really good. But you better not be doing all that work for some vague set of rules, you know? They better have a lot of period flavor, because it certainly looks like the period. Lots of work, yeah. I think it was yesterday. I'm gonna jump in. I'm just gonna jump in. See, this one's missing an idler wheel. I got missing stuff in here. These things have not been too well taken care of the last 25 to 30 years. And you know, I'm not too worried about this. This is a model I wouldn't buy now if I had a choice, because it's a little under scale. It's a little basic in some places. But like I've said before, I already have this. And it's just a matter of, do I want to do something with it and try to make the best of it? Or do I want to throw it away? And I really didn't want to throw it away. Yeah, Roger, I believe it was yesterday that in the long extravaganza, I've got pulled out the old resin buildings, and I'm not super keen on painting them. There's stuff available now that looks a hell of a lot nicer. But now it's just a matter of, okay, so if that's the case, do I want to just throw them away or try to make the best of it and use them as a way to practice for other buildings that I am interested in? And that's the way forward. You know, I'm not going to over cogitate on how to paint them. I'm just going to jump in and do that. I mean, how bad could they turn out? Roger B., I want to say you told me where you're from. Where are you from? What part of the earth are you from? I want to say you told me. Northeast Pennsylvania. Okay, you're Marcus's roommate. Not Marcus's roommate, Nordic's roommate. I've never been in Northeast Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania is actually really pretty. Well, the last 2 days here, the weather has been awesome. which means it hasn't been hot. I wish I hadn't closed the hatches on this thing. But I didn't know what I was going to do. I could buy another one and make it with the hatches open. There you go. It's my excuse to buy other ones. Agrax should come in pint bottles. Yeah, no kidding. You know, and I'm sure there's a way to make this yourself, right? I don't think it's worth my time. There's a lot of other things I already do for myself. I'm going to splurge and have somebody sub out to do this one. We'll let the pros handle this one. This stuff is difficult to come off your hands unless you use Purell. God. Drink. I have been really sleepy. I tried to go to bed at a decent time yesterday, about 9:30. And I laid in bed about an hour and a half, and I'm like, well, screw this. I got to do something else. I have a habit of falling asleep almost immediately when my head hits the bed. You know, if I'm not going to fall asleep, what am I doing in the bedroom? Ali's Magic Brown Liquid. It's pretty good. There may be other options. Viejo Game Washes in 200 milliliter bottles. Shit, how big is that? How many milliliters is this? 18. That's a bit bigger. Okay, well, oh, we have a whole back plate here. And this idea I got from a guy who has a YouTube channel. And he was, when I was doing the Shermans, and I'm like, well, if this color works on them, why can't it just work on everything else? Yes, this stuff's getting sticky. I'm too worried about it being messy. Most of this gets covered anyways. All right. The Stug. Okay. Now this stuff that's sticky, we can just take this off with a hand sanitizer. It's funny, it'll come off with hand sanitizer real easy, you gotta scrub it like crazy with soap. Haven't done armor in years. I would definitely use it on them. Yeah, I'm enjoying the living shit out of this, by the way. Okay, these clowns are drying. Let's get them out of here. Okay. I need to see if there's any. I don't think there's any coffee in the house. Hold on a second. I'm like teetering. I'm falling asleep. I'll be right back. Yeah, couldn't go to sleep at 9:30. So I stayed in bed for about an hour and a half. About 11, I'm like, screw this. I'm going to go play some Diablo Beta. That'll put me to sleep. And I didn't get tired. I fell asleep. I stayed up about an hour, and then I went to bed. And then I didn't go to sleep. So bases. This is the big old base for the JSU. She's ready to go. This is the base for the Panzer IV. So we need to do the base color on it. And this Panzer IV is missing some road wheels. See that? Good Lord. We're going to put some bushes in front of that so it's not as noticeable. You know? And I'm pretty sure it was missing one of the road wheels when I got it. So... And we can cut one out for this one. Now, you want to see something crazy? That's 1/87th scale. I happen to have a 1/72nd scale one pre-made, so you can tell the difference in size, and it is disturbing. It is disturbing the size difference. Here it is. We're going to work our way towards the stuff in that box painting. Look at this. That's huge. It almost looks like it's too big. I mean, it's like bigger than a JSU. But this is a fine quality, whatever the hell this is. But there's stuff in this box that we need to work on our yellow skills. We've got these pre-made half tracks. They're 251Ds. 1, 2. This one's missing part of the suspension. It came off. It's here somewhere. Yeah, it's down here. 3 of them. An ambulance. 1, 2, 3. No, 2 Malteers. An Opel Boots cargo truck. A Hort staff car with an ugly as hell paint scheme. Man, it's ugly. So we're working our way towards repainting those things. Have a Hasegawa kit and it's large. Yeah. Well, you know, the reality is that, what's that? What kit is that? These are pre-made. These are pre-made. I don't really know who they are, but they're pre-made. But they're all going to get repainted. Well, you know, some things are priority to repaint than others. I mean, these, especially the Maltese, these don't look half bad. They don't look half bad at all. But I'm still going to repaint them. Does the roof come off? I don't know, but we're going to leave it glued in. What an assortment. Oh, yeah. Well, we got to finish all this stuff so we can buy new stuff. You know? We do about a couple of them a week. We'll be in good shape if we can do a couple of vehicles a week. Well, we got a couple of Panthers coming up. You know, we got some other shit here. We'll get to these before those repaints. Since Rick's here, we can just pull it all out. We got a Puma. Somehow these wheels fell off. The glue they use on it is really poor. But here's a Puma with a freaking muzzle brake that doesn't make any sense. Speaking of scale creep, this is a Matchbox Panzer 3J, Panzer 3H, sorry. And it's significantly bigger than this one. Well, it kind of is, but they're usable together, you know. Here is a Fujimi Panzer 3J. I built it this way on purpose with the thingies missing. The late war, the later you go in the war, the less you see the shirts on the running gear. It's almost like they figured out, oh, the Russians really don't have any of those things. This thing just broke off. We just got to glue it back on. But that should look pretty decent. Good old Panzer 1. This guy will be gray. This is a beautiful kit. This is a Panzer 3, a Panzer 4 H from Revell. I believe I built this one on camera. And it's missing some plates on purpose. We've got the Panzer 4 that doesn't exist. It's a mixture of things that don't go together. The Frankenpanzer. Oh, some of the plates on this side broke off. It just has one missing in the middle. Has one missing in the middle and it's one missing on this side. You know, this is actually, we're going to make this a G, but it's missing, you know, it has none of these little apertures on the front here. The G just had one. The F2 had both of them and earlier. So, you know, like I said, I have this. It's not very accurate, but it'll work. We have a Eschi German half-track. That one will be gray. This is another one of those Ds, but this is by a different manufacturer. Here's an early war Fujimi 76 scale German half-track. And then this one, this is an A. This is a Matchbox 251A, and I don't know where it has. I need a little gun shield for the thing up there. But this one's early war because It's got the periscopes here on the side, right by the driving compartment. There you go. That's how I started following Tony. That's right. And you know what got me into this? You know what got me back into this? That guy from Portugal. That guy from Portugal, João, that I came across his videos and he had like hundreds for rapid fire. He had all his armies for rapid fire. After playing rapid fire twice and really not liking it, I don't know why anybody would play that game, but that's just me, you know. But we got some good stuff coming up. And now that we were able to rock this, even with the mistakes that I made, which I probably won't make again, it still turned out okay. So we're going to kick ass with these things. Anyhow, good stuff coming this year. And next year, too. I'm enjoying this a lot more than the 15s. And I enjoyed the 15s. Because I know if I get around to playing this game, it'll have the kind of detail I like. Maybe nobody else will like it, but I'll like it. It'll have a good story. Oh yeah, he has so much stuff and he does all these conversions. Well, you know, the thing is that it was kind of liberating to see somebody who didn't cogitate about having a model that was inaccurate. He just moves on with it. He realizes he has a couple of them in different scales. You know, he's probably 10 years older than I am, so he's been collecting it for a while. And he doesn't, it's liberating seeing somebody who's not, who might know that these kits are inaccurate, but he has them. So you move forward with him the best you can, you know? And he doesn't use any decals. He paints all of his stuff. And it works. It works for his painting style. So, okay, so we need to do this one in we could just use this too. We could use this for this. Do we have an extra base floating around here? I do. I just don't know what size it is. Let's find out what size this thing is. Nah, it's smaller. I mean, it could work, but this needs to be this size. That one needs to be this size. So let's go ahead and cut the other one for... We got half tracks and shit like that that'll need it. So let's go ahead and make another one just like this one for that guy. And you know, because of drying time, we've got to hop around. Hop around, do a little bit of this one. I'm glad I solved the large vehicle basing. Because now we can work on our big cats. Not that I have that many. Okay, we want another one just like this. All right. Where's my cardboard? Well, I guess this is what my way of getting exercise. I sit down and get up. I sit down and get up. I sit down and get up. And I got a shitload of cool infantry too. I don't have to buy any figures. And after pulling that one farmhouse out, it's almost like I should start painting the partisans first. Because that's really gonna work for... That's... What'd I do? Miss a whole finger? What the hell's wrong with me? That's going to work really well for for new players. But we'll see. You know what? I'm not building this stuff for a tournament or an event. I can do whatever the hell I want. And that's what I really like. You know, sometimes you come across somebody on the internet and you see something that they're working on, hobby-wise. It gets stuck in here. That's why I'm tapping it. Makes you realize that maybe you're spending too much time worried about the outcome instead of just making the outcome happen. And I'm guilty of it. I'm better at it than I used to be, but so yeah, the girls were gone. They're back in town today. And I got to see them for a few minutes, and then they had to go leave and do something else. So I'm like, well, if you guys aren't going to be here, I'm going to get back online with my people. These things aren't going to paint themselves. Okay. And we got magnets just in time. They arrived today. I mean, they arrived yesterday, sorry. I opened them up today. And that's all this stuff is right here. I didn't even bother trying to find out if there was a better product. I bought the same ones I got last time. Yeah, you want on the couch, something else on the couch. What material for this? These are all shims. But I found the evergreen stuff for the big ones. So when I run out of shims, this is what I'm going to use. But this big one that's larger than, because this dimension's fixed on these shims. I got these shims from work that nobody needed. But this dimension's fixed. So if the vehicle's longer than this, I can't do anything with it. Because this is the size that the shim comes in. So if it's bigger, and we'll end up reusing this thing as well. It's not like this is going to be a permanent pallet, but so I got this evergreen stuff, which is in white, and should work just fine. And they have it at Hobby Lobby. And evergreen's been around forever. Forever, so I do not mind ordering some of that from Amazon or whatever when I'm getting close to being low. perfect. And this is just a habit putting magnets on the bottoms, but I don't think I'm going to travel with these things. If I'm doing all the heavy lifting for this game, we're going to play it here. No point in me doing all the heavy lifting, painting, learning the rules, everything, and then I have to pack all the shit up and take it to somebody else's house. You know? They can come here. Just so you get a better purchase of the material on it. Strange how couches fill up so quick. Well, the thing is this is not a couch I bought. It's actually a good couch. It's been refilled and you can sleep on it pretty well. I mean, it doesn't like come out or anything. You just take the back cushions off and sleep on it. So it has a purpose being there. However, it's very soft. So if you have things stacked on one side of the couch and you sit down on the other side, they'll come to you. They keep sliding on you and stuff, you know. So, but it was these friends that we knew didn't want that, and they had something else that we had, and we kind of did a horse trade for it. And it comes in handy, but I wish it wasn't there because it's just a catch-all. What size are these games going to be played on? Big. Big. Am I going to use those new terrain mats? Unfortunately. That's like the first thing I'm looking forward at Recon defining. The one terrain, I think those two terrain mats will be great for taking photos of the figures. The miniatures look great on them, but that's because I'm hiding the freaking lines on it. And I don't think I'll be buying any more products from them. They didn't really make it right. And they said they were going to, and they just come up with all kinds of excuses. So that's the priority at the convention. I'm looking to see. I'm bringing some vehicles, like 3 or 4. So if somebody has a terrain map there, pull it out, lay the vehicles on there, and see how it looks. I don't think I'm going to make my own. I just don't have the desire to do it. But who knows? I don't think I'm going to. Like I said, this is going to look good. It might take me 5 years to get it going, but we're painting stuff along the way. And it wouldn't have been so bad if I knew people that were raving about them. About those terrain mats from that company being really good. And I get them and they're like, well, these aren't very good. Oh, well, that's our cheapest material. Okay, that's fine. But it doesn't say, oh, by the way, these are at a discount because they've been in storage for 3 years and they're going to have discoloration on the folds. There's nothing you can do about it. Not cool. But I may have to make my own because, God, I'd really like to play on something like a 6x10 or a 6x12 or something like that. But all the scenarios don't need anything bigger than a 4x8. All right. That can dry. This goes in brown. So let's get one of these. But we're figuring stuff around the way. I'm figuring out I don't want to buy another Dragon model kit. It's not like I can't put it together. It's just it's too fiddly in ways that it doesn't need to be. You know? I could put models together. I don't have to like prove something. So Especially when it's not like, okay, well, this model you have to put more things on, but because you have to do that, it's actually significantly cheaper. Oh no, they're expensive. Well, so what's the incentive then? You know? I mean, I don't mind building them, but some seem to love them here, but noticed a few folks grumbling about customer support. I would love to get the ones that were mouse material, but it doesn't work for me. It doesn't. I have one that's mouse material that is gorgeous. Actually, I have several of them that is mouse material that's gorgeous. I know. I'm going to have to pull them out now, aren't I? Yep, I'm going to have to. Well, I talked about it. Really? All right. You've seen these before. I'll pull one of them out. I won't pull them both out. This is one of these things that I bought with the monies that I got from selling all my old miniatures. And this is the Wings of War play mat, and it's gorgeous. It's, I don't know what size this is. This is a weird size, like 30 by 38 or some nonsense like that. But it's the Wings of War to play the card game. And the card game isn't bad. I have some of the miniatures, but I just rather play something else than playing it. And these weren't cheap. You know, I got them both, which is both sides of it, and I've used them one time with Mitch. And it's a fun game. I'd rather play something else. That's what I'm going to suggest. Next time they say, hey, you want to play Rapid Fire? I'm like, nah, let's play Wings of War instead. It's a better game. Okay? You guys have seen these, I'm sure. They've been around a while, and now the company's changed hands or got rebought by somebody else, and now they make their own stuff. It's called, I don't know, Winds of Glory or something like that, and the stuff's compatible. But I have the original one. I have everything from the original set. I don't have all the planes, but I've got probably a dozen planes. Honestly, playing with the cards is just as good as playing with the miniatures. You know? The miniatures have a problem. You push them around, and if you're not careful, they'll move on you when you don't want them to, and then your position gets... You got to be careful with it. So I got both of these. This isn't what I wanted to show you. But this is something that's very nice. I went ahead and got it. And it wasn't a good value, because look how many times I've used it. Once. This was a bad business decision. I make a few of them, unfortunately. Here's what I wanted to show you. And this is something beautiful that is for a game that I don't have a whole lot of interest in playing again, because it's going to create this kind of effort to play the other game, and it's not World War II. And it still has gamey things to it. It still has gaminess things to it that, like DBA, need to be fixed. And I just don't want to go down that road again of playing a game that's incomplete that I've got to somehow fix. This thing's in here very tight. This is a company that I'm not even sure if they still make this anymore. This is a company that now specializes in making Magic the Gathering playing things. Playing spots. I'm going to regret pulling this thing out, because this is a tight ass fit. And the rubber's on the outside, so it's catching on here. See if we can get gravity working for us. I'm going to have to pull the whole thing out. When did I get this? Does it say? $2018? Something like that. This is mouse pad material. And this is a play arena for Gaslands. And whatever pictures I show you of this will not do it justice. This is one of the nicest things I've ever seen in my life of anything. It's really impressive. It's really, really impressive. So this company, which is called Ink Gaming Mats, if they make other stuff that's like this, get it. Because this stuff is stellar. I'm not going to roll out the whole thing, but I am going to put out a portion of it. It is really unfreaking believable. It's like, just think the most expert person painted it. It's unfucking believable. Let's see if we can get overhead view. Look at this. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, let me get some vehicles out here. Let's get Leadfoot. Let's get Leadfoot out here. And Hippie-ki-yay. Let's get Hippie-ki-yay out here. Now, man, this effort's heavy. I'll just lay this on the chair. No, because the lighting isn't going to do it. We're not going to do well. I like to say things how it is. Like if you get those gaming mats I got from those Tiny War Games UK, they sucked because they were shiny and they were folded over in storage and they got discolored. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. First of all, you can't even tell it's a game mat. You can't even see the pattern. Look, here's your starting positions for them. It's just incredible looking. Now, these vehicles were painted at a time where I still hadn't done the method that I do now. The method I do now is a crap ton faster. So I could probably spit out vehicles a lot faster now. But it's a fun game. It has issues. They're not major issues, but it has issues. So, anyhow, this is, I think, 4x4. I would, if these guys made other products, I'd buy them, but 4x4 just doesn't cut it. So here's the problem with this. Here's the problem. Look, and there's like advertising on the side of it or whatever, because it's the player. It's supposed to be like if it's three-dimensional. The problem with this is you almost went down. The gas lines are out. The worst thing about the rules is the fluff of their game is stupid. Their fluff is just. Now I gotta lay this thing out to roll it up. Let's see if we can do something special for you guys. Light in here isn't the best. It is just incredible. It is absolutely incredible. I mean, there are some stripe markings here that are like half faded. Just think of the best painter you can think of in the entire world. And if they did this by hand, it wouldn't look as good as this. You'd think these people were paying me to say that. I just call things like I see them. Look, there's even got like some oil and shit here. It's absolutely incredible. This is the play area. It looks a little grayer in real life than it's coming in there on your picture because the lighting in here has some yellow stuff to it, yellowing properties, but it's just absolutely incredible. And they also make one that's dirt. I figured, hey, this is something different. It's industrial. you know. But the problem is I don't have time. I don't have time and energy to do everything. And the Gaslands was just becoming... It's a good game. It really is a good game, and we've had really good games with it. However, it's one of those that... No, hold on a second. I'll make sure I don't have this message here. So, well, that's an old message, isn't it? Yeah. And I've got the rules. I even got Mitch a copy. I just don't have it in me to do that also. And it's not playing the game, it's looking up stuff. And maybe one day I'll change my mind. I'm not going to get rid of this. I'm not going to get rid of all my Matchbox vehicles. Maybe one day I'll be tired of painting my World War II tanks and say, let me paint one of these vehicles. And with this new method that I'm doing now, that's quite a bit quicker. And just see how it turns out. And maybe a spark will come out. And because I do like painting them. I really like... I gotta roll this tighter. I really like naming them. When I was a member of the Facebook group for Gaslands, I think there was a couple of them, people would always say, I got this new build, but I need a name. And I'm thinking, you name the thing before you build it. But some people just aren't very good at advertising, I guess. And you see it all the time. I know Rick's always asking, hey, come up with some character names for me, right? Because he wants some good character names. You play any online game of any distance, of any significance, and I'll use Diablo for an example. I played some of the Diablo beta this weekend. Looked pretty good. There's people running around in the world that you're also with, other player characters, you know, that are other humans controlling them. They have the dumbest ideas for freaking names ever. You know? But I love naming things, you know, appropriately. They go with the theme. Oh no, the thing popped off the bottom. All right, well, we got you in here now. We got you in here now. Anyways, little sidetrack. Had to share that with you. These folks really know what the hell they're doing. Ink Gaming. So we're talking about the mouse pad. Tiny War Games UK supposedly makes mouse pad stuff. There's this guy that I know, a DBA guy. I don't know him personally, but I've played games with him online, interacted with him a lot. And he swears by Tiny War Games UK. So I took his word for it. But I can't buy the mouse pad ones because I need to shove things underneath them for some height advantage, from height differences for some of the scenarios. It doesn't have to be big, but, you know, so I have to go with some kind of a cloth. So, those vehicles look so cool. They make you want to play some vehicle. Yeah, it is a fun game, you know, and it's a fun management. The thing is just to get it to look really good, I got to do a lot of work. And I'm not doing World War II stuff. But I would play Gaslands before I'd play DBA again. Yeah, I'm not going to badmouth DBA. I played over 2,500 games of DBA. It's time to move on with something a little bit more flavor. And probably 2,400 of those games were a lot of fun. It's not like I didn't enjoy playing the game. I just want something that has a little bit more detail and, you know, not as many questions come up. And when they come up, you come up with a solution and it doesn't get questioned. Well, you did that wrong. Well, the author should write the rules a little clearer. You know, I don't want to play rules wrong. That would be stupid. But the fluff for Gaslands is just dumb as hell. Well, the names of the teams are dumb as hell, you know. But that's easy to do. You could just have the same attributes and call them something different, you know. But that's the kind of stuff that I like. I like coming up with that kind of creative stuff. Anyhow, that was my exercise, rolling those two things up. But it's absolutely, it doesn't do it justice. I've taken pictures of it of the Gasland vehicles a long time ago with that as a background. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's incredible. So kudos to the guys that painted that stuff out. But the first thing I'm looking for at the convention is a playmat. Because I really don't want to build one out of teddy bear fur. That's a mess. That's going to take a long time. And it's going to be one of those things that I'll see where all the mistakes are on it, and it's going to bug me. And I don't want any roads built in on it because it might be a battlefield that doesn't have a road. So the purpose of, I'm not going to say mission statement because God, I hate mission statement. I said it. Damn it. Do this hobby stuff. Bring you guys along with me so I'm entertained. Hopefully you guys are entertained as well. Maybe you'll see something that you're not able to, that gets in your way and keeps you from doing it. And hopefully that stuff happens to me too. Sometimes you just gotta, just jump in. Just jump in and paint your way out. Because sometimes you can overthink things and you don't get anything done. So. All right. This one has to dry. This one's good to go. But before we do that, let's check on this Agrax and see how it's doing. Pretty much dry. Now, I don't remember what order I did this in. I think I dry brushed the main color over it again. And then I did camouflage. Then I dry brushed some of that more main color and faded the camo a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the JSU on its base. It's ready to go. And epoxy it. And while that's drying, we'll dry brush these two. Okay. And I got to go get the paint because I left it out there. I left the Dunkelgelb base out there. All right, that one's drying. This one's also drying, different stage. Amen. I don't know. What are we amening about? What did I say that was prophetic? Hopefully everything. I hate that I sometimes say, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm always honest with you guys. I'm almost honest with everybody, which of course means, sometimes I don't have a filter. Oops. Does this make me look fat? Oh, fuck, don't ask me that. I'm going to get in trouble. Okay. Amen. Hallelujah. This is the only thing I don't like about this method is I don't know where the hell the line was I put. It's like self-healing. It's like a self-healing. Oh, it's further along. It's closer to the edge than you would think. Don't need to go like that. Jeez. Hey, my wife gives me hell for lack of filter as well. Yeah. Well, you know, the alternative is you could be a liar. And there's only one worse thing than a liar. When somebody lies to you and tells you you said something that you didn't say. Oh, that's like pistols at 30 paces. And I'm probably worse about it now than I used to be in the past because in this day and age, there's too many people with too much of a filter. People to get upset about something they shouldn't even be getting upset about. People on crusade. As the Frenchman says, mind your own business. Had a friend of mine, wargaming, he would refuse to play anything French. He was so anti-French. And I was like, do you know anybody that's French? No. Well, that's stupid. Okay? There's good people everywhere and there's dickheads everywhere. They still protesting that thing over there in France about the retirement age going up? I remember they were like, at one point, they were like, want a 35-hour work week. It's like, man, I need to move to France. Domari Nolo. Is that your Star Wars name? I have no idea what Domari Nolo is. It's Domali Noro from the Outer Rim. Hey, here's a question for you. If you're a mercenary in the Star Wars universe that takes you to... By the way, that's a fun game, that Star Wars Outer Rim. We played that a couple months ago. It was a lot of fun. I don't even know who makes it, but it was fun. And you take a job on the Outer Rim. Is that considered a rim job? I refuse to be subjugated. I don't subjugate people, and I don't want to be subjugated either. Freedom always fits. Jabba the Hutt handing out rim jobs. Okay, we have a little bit of white showing. That's fine, because we will close that up. We need to open this up a little bit more. Rick finally got it. Now, it takes a little bit of time typing it, and then there's a 30-second delay or something like that before I see it. You know, I think there's probably a delay in there so somebody doesn't, like, you know, commit suicide on the internet and then, like, it gets posted to the whole world. Please don't do that. If you are going to do it, at least let me give you a list of people to take with you. Kidding, of course. Okay, this is... We have all these little specks of paint that just happen from the flick of the brush. So we should be able to take hand sanitizer and take all that stuff right out. There is no excuse for you guys to have these cutting mats. Jameson all around. There you go. If I didn't need coffee, I'd have some tonight. I didn't even have a buzz the other night. I drank it slow. You know, that's not the point. Alcohol gets such a bad rap because of people that don't know how to behave with it. That don't know how to behave. Because if it wasn't alcohol, they would just be misbehaving doing something else. You know? I can't believe what those Twinkies made you do. You know, it'd be something else. It's a people person. It's not a... When I was in college, I had these people that are always saying, no, man, marijuana's okay for you. It's alcohol that's a problem. I'm like, not for me. It makes me a better person. I behave a lot better. I don't get upset with anything when I'm drinking. You could talk all about my mother. I don't give a shit. I'm drinking. Look at that. Unfreaking believable. I never did make the video I said I was going to make about that. Well, I was too busy creating things. I tried 2 UK brands on mine. Don't work. Oh, of hand sanitizer? Yeah. I don't know what it is in here. It's got isopropyl water, isopropyl alcohol, caprylyl glycol, glycerin. Hope that's not flammable. I bet it probably is to some degree. Want me to ship you some? Probably can't ship you some liquids. Works great. Amazing. And I discovered it by accident. Because I bought so much of this stuff. Not because of the pandemic or anything, but it was on sale. It was like buy one, get one free. And I keep some of this stuff, I keep some of this in the car. Like when I go to the gas station and stuff. You know, you don't want to have like gas. And some people pump gas and I swear they make a mess. It's like, what did you guys do? Like, you know, you get down to get gas at the gas station. And it's almost like you step in a puddle of gas. Like, what did you guys do here? Have like a water balloon fight with gasoline? Like, that stuff's expensive. And it doesn't smell good. You don't want to get it on you, you know? What'd you guys do here? So I don't want to bring that into the car. And then I have another one, another bottle. This is because this is a name brand. This is a good name brand stuff, Purell, and I think this is Unilever, isn't it? No, it's made by Gojo. What? I would have lost a bet on that one. I would have bet this was Unilever. Maybe Unilever is Dove, the Dove soap that I use. Anyhow. We had a generic one that we bought, and we had it for many years, and it's in the garage. And my wife says, "Oh, this is no good anymore." And I'm like, "It works great for cleaning the needles on my airbrush." You know, like you're done with it, and just put some on it, and just rub it on there with, with a paper towel or something like that. Good to go. Oh, is this thing still sticky on the outside? Sticky up here. Eric Gray, the Gray Man. Is that a movie or something like that? Series The Gray Man. Oh, no. That's the leaky bastard. No, you gotta be the other way. Ah, they sell Purell here. There you go. That's, sometimes advertising makes a difference. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know in this case, but Purell's like the top name brand one. Doesn't mean the generic one doesn't smell, but the generic one doesn't smell good. The Purell actually smells nice. Rick, what flavor? You said you spent a lot of money the other day going to Bath and Body Works putting those little wall stink things or whatever, or the anti-stink things. What flavor did you go with? They make some of those things I wouldn't want my whole house smelling like. So one of the nicest smelling things they have is, or one of the places that I've stayed at that smells really good is a Hard Rock Hotel at Universal Studios, and they pump in their own smell. They have a smell that they pump in, so the place always smells. I'm talking about like the lobby and everything. It smells wonderful. Like if you could get your house to smell like, be like that, you'd be like, yeah, bring it, you know. And they have their own odor that they pump into the entire hotel, which the hotel is actually kind of disappointing because it is almost completely white on the inside. You'd think it would be more colorful. But that place smells amazing. It smells like a clean ocean. If you can visualize that. Big boy. Okay, can't do anything with the other two. Because they're drying. Alright, back to these. We're gonna go grab the Dunkelgelb out there. And I'll be right back. I'm not even gonna mute it. I'll be back in moments. It's funny that there'll be some unique word. And this happened to me when I was working on those medieval Germans. And it was like, lands connect this, lands connect that, lands connect this other thing. It's a word I never use. It's an unusual word. And you use it all the time in like every single post you do. And now Dunkelgelb has become that word. I used to call it a German armor dark yellow. That's what the Poly S bottle was called. I got multiple of these scents. In the Stars, one of your favorites, Gingham, Amethyst Dreams, Mahogany Teakwood, and Sunshine Glow. Stoogs! Yep, there you go. Well, one of them is a Stoog. This one. And it is not a very good model. It's very dated. There's things that are weird to them. If you look at the drive sprocket, it sticks too far forward. It's like really, really weird. It looks like it's, but you know what? It's going to look okay. So this is based in black, spray painted with this, you know, and it was kind of like this, just enough to grab the Agrax Earthshade. And now we're going to dry brush this on top of it to kind of get like a mid-tone. Then we'll do the camouflage on top of that. Then we'll go over it with this again, blending the camouflage in like we did on this guy yesterday. Except we're going to use a different green. It's not as light as that one. I've seen pictures of really light green Panzer IVs. So I don't mind having one like that. It's not like I got to repaint it or anything. It's not like I'm disappointed in how it looks. I would have already repainted it if I didn't like how it looks. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't know if that makes any sense, but sometimes you get like a vision of, oh, this is probably going to look like this. Let's do that. And then it doesn't turn out that way. All right. This is a pretty soft brush. We've got to get almost all of this out. And we're just going to go over this, leaving some of the dark color in the recesses. But I do like this AK paint. Now that I've found kind of a way to use it that works for me. This is another vehicle that you frequently see nicknames on them. Heidi or, whatever. Name of your girlfriend. So hopefully it's a female name, or they might send you to the Russian front. Unless you're already there, in which case, what are you going to do? Threaten me with what I already have? If you found that funny, you're in the right place. We make fun of everything here. Almost everything. It's only one thing definitely off limits. We're not going to go there. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Nobody's crossed the line yet. Erica liked the song. I've actually seen Erica as a nickname on a German tank. Armored fighting vehicle. German armored fighting vehicle, I should say. I want to get the shittiest little German armored car, and it's going to be called Mimi. I'm going to put Mimi on it. Something that just has like one machine gun on it, like paper thin armor. What's the Erica song? I don't hear well, so I'm terrible about lyrics. Who's the Erica song by? And hopefully it's somebody I've heard of, because I'm not with music anymore. I don't know I'm not in the music scene. German marching song of World War II. No wonder I hadn't heard that playing on the radio. Oh, we have visitors. Hold on one second. guess good night, gentlemen. Catch you another night this week. Okay. His weed dealer. Who's the weed dealer? As someone who doesn't know jack about drugs, that would be the worst thing about it, is having to deal with somebody who deals in it. Just grow your own. You know, at least you don't have to deal with the questionable individual. You know, I like tomatoes, but if I've got to deal with like somebody who does criminal activity to get tomatoes, I just grow my own tomatoes. Just saying. Nordic, when did you show up? Oh, there it is. ... Unusual pause. It's unusual pause, man. So we're putting this base color back on it now that we've left kind of this rusty kind of color in the creeks and the crevices. And then this is going to be the base that we're going to airbrush the camouflage color on. And then when we're done with that, of course, it's just going to be airbrushed kind of solidly. We're going to run over it again with this and kind of have it kind of fade away, so to speak. Mines, we're back in the few. I'm going to find some sort of footrest. My damn recliner just broke and I can't recline anymore. Sit here. Do I have any German? No, I haven't gone to Africa yet, man, but I probably will. But you know what? The Africa court doesn't interest me as much as the British do. Because the British have that counter paint scheme that's just crazy. But when I do Africa core, I'm probably going to paint them gray base and then just dust the living crap of them up. So you still have some of the gray showing. I don't want them to be like this color and then lighten them up from there. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm going to try one and then I'm either going to like it or not, but we're a ways off. I have no Africa Corps infantry, so it might be kind of difficult to game that in the short term. But yeah, Africa, yeah, everybody likes Africa. Africa's awesome. You know, as a theater, it's still war. I just want to see these things in action. I don't want people to fight each other, but I like the Africa venue. It's actually an environment that's pretty conducive to doing small scale tactics because of the frequent dust storms and stuff. It's almost like you can have like a night battle without it being at night, you know, with really poor visibility. Okay, I think this one is good to go as a base color. Let's do the Schürzen. Justin, I believe you said you prefer the Dunkelgelb to the gray. This is interesting how this is looking. So we're going to have all three colors on the Stug. We're going to have just green on the Jagdpanzer 4. I got to find that picture of that Jagdpanzer 4 that I really like. Kind of inspirational. You like them both. You go both ways. Perfect. Yeah, I don't like the yellow as much, only because it doesn't match the troops' uniforms as much. So, but with that said, I think I've kind of nailed the gray, so I don't mind working on this yellow color and nail that as well. That's what I like about this hobby. I'm here to nail things. What? What you talking about? What time is it? Yeah. I'm going to do these in yellow, and then I'm going to cut off, because I'm going to attempt to spray paint these guys. And the lighting in the garage is terrible, but I got one of those lights you can put on that has like the, you know, everywhere you look, it's got the bright LED, and those actually work pretty well. You're super pissed about your recliner? Yeah, hopefully you broke it. I'd hate to think that one of your other people you live with broke it. Or somebody broke it and didn't own up to who it was. You know, if I had one of them rocking chair recliners, I'd break it. I'll wear those things out. Okay, that should be good. Tony make you laugh too hard, you lean back and snap the springs or something. That's happened. I bet that's happened to everybody. I don't mean just from my laughing. I mean just laughing in general. That's like a legit thing that could happen. All right. Now the old Jagdpanzer. No one comes in here. I broke it somehow. It was working fine 2 hours ago when I got up and headed into the hobby room to play Napoleon's Last Gamble, and down a few minutes ago when the reclining thing won't work now. Oh, it's Boney's fault. Blame it on the Corsican. Boney made me do it. You know, all chairs crap out. This one, when I lean over, it creaks like I weigh 700 pounds or something, you know? But it's just they crap out on you. You sit in it when I'm not doing anything. So it won't recline, or the feet won't go up, or both. It's my chair. That's Bob Dole's chair. However, it could be a blessing in disguise, for the chair is 6 years old and is really hurting my back. Sitting how I am now with a footrest actually feels a lot better. I think subconsciously you broke it. It was injuring you. You said nobody comes in there. Do you have proof that your people haven't been, the people you share the room with? Are they people you that are your family that you stay with, or you got one of those apartments where like four people, you have a common area and everybody's got their own bedroom or whatever. I don't think that would, the real world Nordic edition. I don't think I would do well in that environment. People that come in and eat your food that you have there, and then let you clean up the freaking dishes too. They'll eat your food, and you got to clean up after them. What's the worst thing your roommates have done to you? I don't mean like they gave you an atomic wedgie or something. I just mean what's the biggest pain in the ass that they've done? They don't subscribe to the channel. You could say it. Actually, if they do subscribe, who cares? They should know not to do that again. Bastards. Let them fear you. Or you could take a dump in their shoe while they're at work or something. I live with 2 family members, and one is incapable of coming up here, and the other doesn't come in here. You've scared them. Don't go in there or I'll kill you. Whoa, what you got there? What's in that room? Don't go in there. My grumpy cousin's there. He eats people for fun. He eats people of low nutritional value for fun. So we're going to run the airbrush. I read some articles on AK paints and stuff. They recommended it running at no more than 20 psi and not thinning it. So we're going to try that. Every paint's got kind of their own sweet spot. I don't really know how accurate the pressure gauge is. It's not like it's digital. All right, I got to step away for a little bit. What's your favorite paints? If we're not airbrushing, if we're just hand painting, these guys. Cote d'Arms. They're wonderful. If I'm, like brushing with brushes, they're the best ones. I can't go to a store. I can't walk into a store and get them though. And I'm not going to pay shipping across the pond. And I'm not going to buy paints unseen. If I'm rebuying a color, I would. But that is definitely my favorite paint. Now, the only bad thing about them is they don't have eyedroppers. But that's supposedly the manufacturer of the original Citadel paints, is Cote d'Arms. That's my favorite one. A lot of my World War II stuff that I have, figures that you may or may not have seen for 20 years ago, were painted using Games Workshop paints. I just kind of matched colors that were the closest, and we mixed them, and I'm really happy with how it applies. It applies very, very smooth. All right, let's step away from this and look at it. And I need a couple minutes. I'll be right. I've been summoned, and the demon has been summoned, and I will be right back. All right. Oh, what happened here? Castle. Holy shit. Let's pull. Man, what the hell did I miss? The pad that I'm using for dry brushing. This is just cardboard. This is just cardboard that, like the backs of like paper and stuff that you get. I got everybody at work saving it for me. What do I think of Army paints and Vallejo? I like Vallejo. Army paints, they're weird. They're just a weird consistency. They'll work okay. They're just weird. I don't actively seek them, and there's no one here in town that carries them. So, yeah, the Army Painter Yellow is a beautiful color, but it's very runny-ish. They have good colors, I guess. Kobe is Lego competition. They make World War II tanks. I missed everything. Back when I was a kid, back when I was about 8, there was a company called Tente, Tente. It was out of Spain, and they made warships. This would have been the late 70s, and they made like warship sets. But of course they weren't compatible with Legos. I've seen the Kobe stuff. Kobe Bryant. Okay, this is enough of a base to get the camouflage on. This is enough of a base to get the camouflage on. So this is what we're going to start the camouflage process on these two. I could glue these on, or I could just glue them later. I think it's probably easier just to glue them on later. Is this dry yet? It is. All right. Then let's go ahead and do the triad of colors on this one, because this is the one that the Panzer IV goes on. Look at all this paint I waste just to do a little bit of dry brushing. Well, you end up wasting most of the paint anyways. That's what I work for, so I can waste paint. Where is the U.S. Field Drab? Here we go. And the one for the half track, we can't do it. It needs to dry some. This thing sucks. You suck, brush. And the brush says, only yours. Just grab another one. I need to do a deep cleanse on these brushes. Casualties are mounting in the twin fight of Quatre Bras and Ligny. The French have lost 4 cavalry brigades, 2 infantry brigades, 4 artillery batteries, and 1 general. What's his general's name? General Pajol, commander of the 1st Cavalry Corps. General Pajot is now taking a dirt nap. I still haven't seen The Duelists. So what was that movie that was recommended to me? Was it Company of Heroes? Somebody recommended, say, hey, yeah, the action sequences might be good. The story sucks, but the action sequences might be good. Which is the battle that takes place after Waterloo? Is it Quatre Bras? The Battle of Four Bras. Kobe 253 Panzerkampfwagen Tiger Lego tank is a nice made model. Pajot was holding the extreme right flank of the French lords at Ligny. He had, is it Ligny or is it Ligny? I have no idea. Yet to advance forward to check the sudden advance of the Prussian Third Corps, which started threatening the right flank. Quatre Bras and Ligny. Okay. There's no battle after Waterloo. There's no major water. There's no major battle after Waterloo. Waterloo's the last one. I want to say there was another one that involved the. I don't know. Didn't all those battles? Those happened after Napoleon came back, right? He'd already been sent over to Elba or whatever. wider than that too. Oh, I'm a fucking fool. Well, it's for this vehicle, not that one. Well, luckily it works. Oh man, told you I wasn't a very good multitasker. Dodged a bullet there. Okay, let's glue this bitch down. Glue the bitch down. Believe there are a couple more battles after Waterloo, but small in size. Let me see if I can find out. Yeah, maybe the one I'm thinking about was Ligny. I will never be an expert on that, period. I don't game it. Ah, poop. There we go. Fixed. All right, let's get this epoxy out here. We just need to do one vehicle. Wavre was fought after Waterloo, okay? Was that the last one? Same as. How do you say his name? It's not Grouchy. Is it Gruchy? La Scoufle. Fought near this. La Souffle. The Battle of Souffle. Souffle. Are most Napoleonic battles relatively balanced? Or are there a whole host of them that aren't worth doing because they favor one side over the other one? Gruchy. Okay. I bet everybody calls him Grouchy. Nope. I'm about to make a fatal error here. I need to find the screws that go in this. I'm about to make a fatal error. And unfortunately, now I'm on a time crunch because I mixed that epoxy and put it on there. It's not the end of the world. It's annoying to be incompetent. Okay, there's none there. I'll find it, but will I find it in time? Shit, I think I know where they are. It's a container here. There's a bunch of little odds and ends. It was on my desk, and it may be in there. It's not here. Okay. How's this stuff? Good? Okay. Let's just glue it down. We can just glue it together. It's not a big deal. Now, where's the glue points? Let's take the turret off. We don't want the turret glued down anyways. Okay, that fits there. Okay, that's easy to hide that. Got it. What about back here in the back? That sits top to top. All right, here we go. Set this on the inside. Okay, that'll work just fine. All right. Because we're missing a couple of road wheels on there, so we're going to put a little bush there. Okay, now this thing's drying. This one's dried. I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I'm going to go ahead and airbrush this, and next time I'm on, these guys will end up being airbrushed. I hope. And I'm going to take my time doing it, knocking it down to about 20 psi. I'm going to use a different green. The green that they recommend in Flames of War is a reflective green from Vallejo. I have it. I already moved it to the garage, so we're going to try that. And we're just going to put yellow. We're just going to put green on this one, and this one's going to have all three of them. So that's where we're going to go next. So thanks for stopping by, folks, and we'll catch you on the next one with some Dunkelgelb vehicles that hopefully are camouflaged. Okay, thanks for stopping by, folks. Bye-bye.